Twitch and YouTube. Stand by. Got to get everybody on Facebook here going in just a second or two. And we should be ready to go here in just a little bit. So for right now, decently quiet, less in the way of anything involving rain anytime soon, which is not exactly the best news when it comes to anything involving the possibility of really helping us out with the recent wildfire streak that we've got going on. We could really use some more help with that, and the chances of rain to alleviate that are just really not happening anytime soon. We do have some rain coming up as we go toward Friday, but again, the chances of rain for right now are really just not helpful or all that much hopeful. We'll take a look at the extended forecast coming up here in just a little bit. Let's go ahead and get things started for tonight. It is just past 9:45 Eastern Daylight Time. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austen Onek. This is our exclusive video weather blog, Weather Overtime, your opportunity to learn a little bit more about what's going on with the forecast. We do these so that if anybody has any questions about what's going on with the forecast, all you have to do is just drop a question into the comments section, and we'll be glad to answer what we can. If we can't answer anything, then we'll send you on to somewhere else that you might be able to get the answer, National Weather Service or otherwise. So again, if you have any questions, don't be shy. If you'd like to email me directly, at the bottom of the screen, it's aonek@wdef.com if you'd like to contact me directly here at News 12. And as for tonight, we're about the same boat that where we were last night, to where there just really is not that much actually going on. It'll be nice to get some rain in here. Not great news for anything in the way of weekend plans, but we'll talk more about that coming up here in just a little bit. Taking a look at our weather picture of the day, sponsored by HEP Heating, a beautiful view of a faint, what is called a sundog, not a rainbow. Rainbow colored, yes, but a sundog. And this, again, being shot around the Ringgold area. Thank you very much, News 12 viewer Tisha Stark, for this view. These happen when the clouds in the atmosphere are either light enough with rain droplets, very, very tiny, acting as prisms, or as ice crystals, in this case more than likely ice crystals with the colder temperatures and the thin clouds up there acting as prisms, splitting up the light. You can see it going from red to blue from that side. Again, this very nice view. This usually happens on either side of the sun. You can have the entire thing connected as what is called a solar halo or a ring around the sun. In this case, you may see them on either side of the sun, and you have to have the clouds at the right thickness, the sun at the right angle, and you in proportion to that. So you do actually get a nice little show where it comes to anything involving atmospheric optics. And if you've never had a chance to look for these before, great opportunity to do so. Thank you very much for sending that in. And if you've got pictures, please send them in to us. We'll give you the address coming up here in just a little bit. Temperatures today, Almanac, we were back into the lower 70s. Not exactly a record high temperature, but we did manage to get a little bit above normal. The big weather story is this down here, to where we are now over 4.5 inches behind on rain for the year 2026, which has been a very dry year. We've barely been above normal hardly at any point in the last 2.5, 3 months or so. So for right now, what we need is a good soaking of rainfall, and that's not going to happen later on this week. It'd be nice, but we just don't have anything in the way of heavier amounts of rainfall coming our way. We're going to need to, again, be very careful out there when it comes to things like wildfire danger, but we'll talk more about that in just a little bit. Off to the classroom in the morning, it is going to be brisk. Temperatures back into around the mid to high 40s tomorrow morning. A little bit of a breeze, but not by much. Not seeing any rain out there, so teachers, administrators, and students off to the classroom. Chilly in the morning, but very much on the mild side, so the car rider line home may get a little breezy, but outside of that, just not looking at too much of anything in the way of anything involving heavy amounts of rainfall coming on through. And if you're heading out for that late night snack tonight, it will be brisk as temperatures fall into the lower 50s, but clouds coming and going. Not much of anything out there in the way of rainfall, and really doubtful that we're going to be seeing too much of anything out there in the course of the next couple of days. So I doubt we're going to be getting anything in the way of good soaking. So outdoor activities look pretty good at this point, all the way until week's end. Could be some thunderstorms out there. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. Downtown Chattanooga from the 1% List Scenic City camera, overlooking the area back to the southwest. Lookout Mountain off to the left, and looking back toward Raccoon Mountain off due west. So a nice view there. Any of our cameras are available on the EPB Fiber Optics WeatherCam network page if you'd like to check it out at WDEF.com/weather. Traffic moving along pretty well at 2475 right before the top of the hour. A little bit more construction traffic back up over toward Brainerd Road, but now we're not getting, again, too much of any problems out there where it comes to travelers for tonight. We're still in the 60s. That's pretty nice considering where we should be for this time of the year. So very much on the comfortable side. The big numbers to take a look at here are the dew point temperatures, which when it's very far away from the air temperature, that shows that you've got a big gap in between the temperature of the air and the temperature of the air saturated. If those numbers were closer together, you'd have more chances of fog, rain, a lot of clouds down toward the surface possibly. But right now, the humidity, bone dry air at this time of the year, that again is doing a good job of keeping things dry and quiet and mostly clear, although there are some clouds drifting on through. We're not getting anything in the way of huge amounts of cloud cover out there for tonight, but there will be some more clouds and rainfall sticking around the area. If you're just joining us on Twitch and YouTube, thanks a lot for tuning in. Again, if you've got some questions, we'd love to hear where you're from, so drop those into the comments section, and we'll keep an eye on those throughout the rest of the evening if anybody checks in here to get any questions. And if you don't, that's fine too. If you're here just for the weather information, then no problem at all on there. What we've got is high pressure over the mid-Atlantic states out toward the Outer Banks, and that is doing a very good job of keeping things dry and quiet. High pressure doing just what its name implies, pushing down to the surface and keeping things dry and quiet. But what it's also doing is escorting in air from off of the Atlantic, and that's where these clouds are coming from across the southeastern United States. No rainfall. Matter of fact, the closest rainfall to us, outside of a few speckles trying to show up over parts of northeast Alabama, some showers up around Columbus, Ohio, northeast portions of Missouri, and honestly, that's about it. A couple showers down toward, it looks like, east of Orlando in Florida, but we just don't have a lot where it comes to anything involving rainfall across much of the area anytime soon. Now, we do see our next storm system getting organized across the Pacific Northwest. This will be heading our way. There is a little bit of an atmospheric river taking place here. It doesn't look like much, but if you look from Hawaii off to around Oregon and Washington State, that stripe of white with the satellite picture showing again that channel of moisture coming in from off the central Pacific, and that's feeding a few more showers and snow showers even across the higher portions of the Rockies and into southwestern Canada. It's not much, but it will be our next storm system again that will be impacting us toward about the end of the week. And again, this one is going to be giving us some chances of rain, but for right now, it's going to take a lot of energy to make its way all the way down this direction because of the fact that high pressure is acting like a kind of a buffer here and keeping these storm systems back to the north. So for these systems to move south, these areas of high pressure have to get out of the way, and until they do, it's going to sap the strength of all of these systems going through. So we will not be getting anything in the way of major impacts, no winter weather, and we're not seeing any severe weather either. So the chances of anything really going very heavily toward stronger weather just really not going to be taking place as we go into the next few days. So it'd be nice to get a little bit more rain out there, but that's just not going to be coming our direction. Low temperatures for tonight start off with northeast Alabama. We'll be back into the mid to high 40s. No frost being seen here southwest of Chattanooga. North central Georgia, you might be a little cooler in the lower 40s. Northwest Georgia, either side of I-75, you'll probably be in the mid to high 40s there. Western parts of North Carolina, that'll be the coldest numbers in those higher elevations, and maybe some freezing temperatures the farther east you go, but otherwise mid to high 30s there. And for southeast Tennessee, numbers will be chilly. Could be a few 30s thrown in here, but it looks like mainly 40s across much of the region. Chattanooga and the Tennessee River Valley will be back in the mid to high 40s. So once again, not bone-chilling cold and not getting anything in the way of very chilly weather anytime soon. We will be looking a little bit colder as we go toward the area into and around Palm Sunday coming up this next weekend. We'll talk about that in the extended forecast in just a little bit. The view from the VIIRS satellite system, the visible infrared spectrometer satellite, does show a lot of activity going on when it comes to wildfires. The red dots that you see are fires. Now, some of them are deliberately set by, say, forestry, land management, places like that, in order to make certain that underbrush is at a lower level. The more underbrush, the more deadfall you have that stacks up, the worse a wildfire can get. And some of these are very well, very highly watched. They're not just somebody tosses a match and walks away. The authorities who are in charge of things like this really keep an eye on what is going on. And each red dot that you see on here is a wildfire of some sort taking place. You can even see the light gray color indicates where the thicker smoke is located, right up into the News 12 viewing area. And some of these plumes from some of these larger fires, you can see a darker gray, very thick amounts of smoke going in. Now, most of that is going south of us, traveling from east to west, but some of that one area back up to and around close to, looks like Dalton in that area, that particular fire curving more to the north, and it's not alone. Just in this scan here, there are hundreds of new fires that have been detected in just the last about 24 to 48 hours. So this is, again, indications that we're getting some very dry numbers out there, and with the drier amounts of humidity, that's going to leach the moisture right out of the plants. So weeds around the roadside, anything in the way of plants around your home in the wild areas, forests, things like that. It's not going to take much. It's going to take a stray cigarette butt, a spark from a welding torch, a backyard barbecue pit that's not properly watched and maintained, and we could be looking at the potential of a rapid spread of wildfire. Now, so much so, this is expired for right now. Now, earlier tonight, the National Weather Service in Peachtree City, Georgia, had a special weather statement in effect for basically the northern half of the state of Georgia. Because at nighttime, humidity gets higher, it's harder for fires to spread under those conditions. They have taken away the special weather statement, but I would wager it's a good bet that we will see another special weather statement coming up on Wednesday, and a good possibility also that in the next several days we may be looking at the possibility of more special statements from not only the National Weather Service but also from the Storm Prediction Center that keeps a very close eye on things like this. But for now, we don't have anything really taking place in the way of very heavy amounts of problems. But again, please be very careful. If you're going to be burning outdoors, burning yard waste, things like that, grass, again, into around the beginning portion of the growing season, a lot of people burn off that top layer of thatch and leftover weeds. May not be the best idea. Check with your local fire department first before you do anything in the way of burning any waste or weeds out there. And again, please keep it tuned to News 12, and we'll keep you updated. No burn bans in effect for the News 12 viewing area, but it is something that we really do need to be watching through the next couple of days. Taking a look at our Island Cove camera, and again, back toward the area around Tennessee 58 and into and around the area of Hunter Road, Lake Chickamauga, Tennessee River flowing through portions of the area here. Very much on the quiet side for now. Let's see if I can back the camera up a little bit and give us a better view as to portions out there. We do have some clouds out there, and you can tell by the sky shine that those clouds are going to be sticking around through portions of the evening, but we just don't have a lot of problems visibility-wise, and the surface of Lake Chickamauga really calming down because of the fact that the winds have really dropped by just a little bit. Wednesday, tomorrow, is International Waffle Day. Great opportunity to get out and celebrate a sweet treat out there. And then also, again, the best possibility we have of anything involving rainfall. It's not much, but coming up on Friday evening into Saturday morning, that's where we see the potential of showers and maybe some thunderstorms. Now, back when I was growing up in Topeka, Kansas, the churches around the area where I went with my family to go to Sunday morning worship, they would hold an outdoor Palm Sunday service. I don't know if anything like that happens around the Chattanooga and surrounding environs area, but if you're going to do an outdoor Palm Sunday service, it is going to be brisk, temperatures in the 30s and 40s as that front, what's going to be causing that rain moves through. So it will be a chilly start to Sunday morning. So for Palm Sunday early, definitely want to bundle up. Numbers will bounce from the 80s to the 60s on Saturday to the 80s again next Tuesday. But the chances of rain, this entire forecast, there really just is not much of anything going on. Now, again, for outdoor activities, that looks to be really good for no problem there. But I would watch this just to be on the safe side. Not cold enough for winter, not strong enough for severe weather, but again, at this time of the year, we definitely want to be paying attention out there. Earth Hour is coming up on Saturday. We'll talk more about that as we go into Wednesday, so definitely want to stay tuned for more information there. So please keep it tuned to News 12 for more on that. If you'd like to know a little bit more about what's going on with weather, National Weather Service in Nashville has a weather education program called Weather 101, and these are just the topics for now until the end of the month. I was going to put April's in here, but that would just really kind of make it hard to read. The topics over on the right-hand side, dates and times on the left-hand side. This is a great program because the meteorologists and personnel at the National Weather Service give you some great information, gives you the opportunity to ask questions. If you just want to listen, that's great. If you want to ask questions, you're going to need something like a microphone that's going to be able to let you communicate with the National Weather Service personnel. The topics cover a lot of various ideas, including not limited to weather, but also occasionally some about seismology, about earthquakes and tsunamis and things like that. In the next few weeks, going to be covering things like winter weather, satellites, observations about weather in 3 dimensions, which is really cool when you're doing stuff like taking a look at radar and the information that it can tell you in what's called a volumetric scan. But coming up tomorrow morning, or this morning if you're watching this on Wednesday morning, it's all about the basics of weather. And this is a really great opportunity, again, to learn and find out more details about weather. Again, 10 a.m., that's Central Time. Again, National Weather Service in Nashville will be holding this at 10 a.m. Central Time tomorrow or today, Wednesday, March 25th, all about the basics of weather. So if you've ever wanted to know a little bit more about what's going on with meteorology, perfect opportunity to learn a little bit more about what is happening here. So please consider doing that if you have the opportunity to step on by there. National Weather Service Peachtree City will be holding at the same day tomorrow, but not the same time, 6 to 8 o'clock in the evening. They'll be holding a Skywarn training course. Your opportunity to sign on at their website and get more details about what needs to be done to protect yourself during severe weather. what do you report back to the National Weather Service when it comes to things like severe weather purposes? Maybe you just moved here and you've never dealt with severe weather before. I've spoken to people when I was back in Kansas or in Fort Smith, Arkansas, that they had never been under a tornado warning before, and it can be a little unnerving to have that happen to you. So if you want to know more about this, this is the perfect place to go to. This will teach you everything you need to know to spot for the National Weather Service. Again, this is a Skywarn Storm Spotter course. This is not a chase course. So please keep that in mind. And I know there's going to be somebody out there that says, well, duh, it says so in the description. Well, I want to make that delineation there. I want to make certain people are aware of that, because if you're looking to chase storms, great. Number one, stay safe. Number two, behave yourself when you're doing storm chasing. Don't become what meteorology professor emeritus Charles Doswell called becoming storm chasing yahoos. This is where you get your start as a storm chaser. This is a great opportunity to learn more, to make certain you stay safe above all else. Safety first, safety always, and this is the best way to go. And if you'd like to attend this, coming up tomorrow evening, Wednesday, March 25th, 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Time at weather.gov/FFC. Again, please consider becoming Skywarn Spotter if you have never done so before. The more spotters we have, the better protected we will all be. So just, again, please consider that if you have not done so already. All right, our weather poll question of the day. If you'd like to be a sponsor of this page, please contact our sales department. They would love to have you on board as a sponsor. And if you know anybody who would like to be a sponsor, please pass that information on to them. You can contact us through our website at WDEF.com/weather, or again, just go to the main website there. On average, annually, how many times does the Empire State Building get struck by lightning? 13, 23, 33, or 93? And 93 took the lion's share of the votes right there. The actual answer is, give or take, about twice a month per year. So it's not as much as you may think on that, especially with a number like 93 being the main choice. But the Empire State Building only gets hit roughly about twice a month, and that's about it. So I was surprised to hear that answer too. Being the Empire State Building, you would figure that there would be a lot more lightning strikes taking place to one of the tallest buildings in New York City. So neat idea there. We'll have a new poll going up at midnight. Use the QR code to get there, or again, go to WDEF.com/vote now. Sports, news, let's chat, all sorts of other polls. Please give us your opinion and let us know exactly what you are seeing there. And a great opportunity, again, to find out more about that from News 12. And thanks to everybody for voting in our poll. If you'd like to help clean things up a little bit, as my former co-anchor Richard Ransom back in Memphis used to say, it's time to clean up. This is a great way to do it. It may not be your garbage, but it is our planet and our green spaces that we need to keep clean. It's time to put litter in its place. It's time to make certain we use recycling a lot more often. And locally, Green Steps Chattanooga is holding these litter cleanup sites. The next one will be coming up next Monday, March 30th from 2 to 4:30 p.m. at the Alton Park area. Again, more information at greenstepschat.com/events. And then Earth Day is coming up. Little Cedar Mountain litter cleanup, that's in cooperation with Mueller Water Products. That'll be Tuesday, April 21st from 12 to 2:30 p.m. Again, thanks to everybody for helping to sponsor this and to get the word out. But if you'd like to help out, great opportunity to get out and help keep our green spaces and our planet just a little bit cleaner out there. greenstepschat.com/events if you would like to, again, find out anything more there. If you've got weather pictures, we would love to see what it is that you are seeing out there. And if you do have the opportunity to grab some pictures and send them on to us, please do so. You can email them to us. You can drop them to our social media pages in the comments section. You can also, again, go to our main weather window headquarters at WDEF.com/photos. Your opportunity to drop them off. If there's one thing I could request, please give us You can be anonymous if you want to, but if you could, please just give us either a description or a location as to where you are. Your view of the beach looks great, but there's an awful lot of beachfront property on this planet. So if you could kind of narrow that down for us, that would really help on there. Again, please send those in to us through these locations, and yours could be the next HEP Heating weather window picture of the day. I think that's about it for tonight. I think we've got pretty much everything taken care of for this evening. Remarkably quiet when it comes to traffic and weather, and not much of anything else going on for tonight. So again, hopefully it stays that way out there. So I think we'll go ahead and send things back to your regular programming. 25 minutes, that's not bad for what we do here at News 12, keeping you updated and ideas to what's going on. If you'd like to know more, again, please go to our website. If there's something on here that you would like to see more of, if you would like to tune in for more satellite pictures, more worldwide weather, anything at all, if there's something on here you want to see, let us know. We can't do this without you, the viewer, giving us an idea as to what exactly it is that you like or dislike about this. So it'd be nice to hear from you. Again, drop into the comment section, email me at aonek@wdef.com, and please, again, let us know what you're thinking out there. Chip Chapman will have your forecast bright and early on Wednesday morning, so stay tuned for more there. And of course, I'll be back with more information on Wednesday evening. The NCAA basketball tournament will be back Thursday and Friday, so we're going to kind of have a fruit basket upset schedule again with our newscasts, so tune in for that. And if you can't, definitely want to try going to our website again, WDEF.com, to keep you updated with everything that's happening there. Thanks for joining us for Tuesday night weather overtime, and we'll catch you again coming up on Wednesday. Be safe and keep it tuned to News 12 on air and online.